Alright, hi people, it is Shakespeare here, and this is an unboxing slash review for the Power Rangers Lightning Collection SPD's Shadow Ranger figure, which I just got. It's technically the second Lightning Collection figure I have gotten after Time Force Red. I do plan on getting more of these slowly, especially before they may go out of print, for lack of a better term, but yeah, but slowly getting the Lightning Collection figures that I want first versus the ones that are already out, but I may just focus on getting the ones that are already out first. So, yeah. So, just looking at the box first, I love the packaging for these. These are really good. So you have a picture, comic book sort of style of Shadow Ranger right there. Power Rangers logo, Lightning Collection, which that is slightly embossed. It's glossy, but it's also embossed, which is very interesting that they have that. SPD Shadow Ranger, Hasbro, and all that. Same picture from right here over here. And you can see the Power Rangers SPD logo right there on the side. Which is nice that they do that. Haven't gotten any, even when SPD was on, I never got any of the figures, I don't believe. So, yeah, I don't even have SH figure arts for the Deca Ranger figures at all, which I have been meaning to get, but I don't believe the entire Deca Ranger line came out, unless I'm mistaken. No, it did, but, like, I think it was limited outside of Deca Red, so, yeah. But on the back here, you have him in a, or the figure in a pose right there, which is actually really nice, with all that. And unlike the, Time Force Red figure, they didn't have to cheat with the hands at one point to make him look good in the pose and everything with the weapon that he has. So, yeah. So, the Hasbro logo, and that's some warnings, legal stuff. So, yeah, in other languages, that's Spanish, French, and I assume Italian, maybe? I'm not too sure. Maybe I'm wrong with which ones that is in, but yeah. And on the bottom, some legal stuff. Top, not really anything important. So yeah. So here we go with SPD Shadow Ranger, which this figure just looks just incredible. I love the design of the suit anyways from the show, and it just looks really, really good. There was something I saw, I think it was, what is his name? Dawson Ryder's review of the way that this figure comes in, where he said that the visor was a little bit too off. I think it's okay. It's maybe a little bit off in terms of what the actual proportions of the visor are, but you can't really expect 100% accuracy with these, unfortunately. But these are really good figures with a lot of good posability and everything, and they do come with some nice option parts, which I will get to in a second. But yeah, so to get to posability, basically not too much of a range of movement with the elbows. The hands are on a ball joint, or slightly on a ball joint, because you can take them out. So they can do a 360, and then there's also almost a 180 of the hand movement and all that. The head can do a 360, but it's kind of limited with the chest armor, plastic, everything. Can do a decent nod with everything. I don't necessarily care for the fact that because they wanted to do posability and everything with these figures, that everything is on a sort of hinge when it comes to the elbows, the knees, the feet, and the head a bit. But yeah. Midsection has a pretty good, or a pretty okay range. I don't like that that's snapping, but whatever. The chest armor is plastic, so it kind of moves around a bit. The shoulders have a pretty decent range of articulation. Has a good like 90-degree thing right there. So yeah, and it can move around a bit. It looks a little off, like they're more down than they should be, but that's maybe just the chest armor. Yeah. So then the legs, they can do a decent, almost 90-degree thing right there, and decent range of movement there. The knees can go just about that. And then also, the bottom leg armor can also shift up and down by accident if you're not careful. So yeah. So then the feet are on that much of a joint. There's no toe articulation like figure arts, but that's completely fine in my opinion. Feet can also move that way a bit because of the joint that they're on. So yeah. So basically comes with some option parts. A right hand for posing with the Shadow Saber and everything, because remember in the show he does the Shadow Saber power up thing where he slides his hand like this across the saber and everything, and then a fist hand for his left, which, to show this off, I don't like that they do this. The figure arts have a better design with this. You can take these hands out and replace them with these. So they have a peg that goes into the wrist hole, which I genuinely don't like because it feels like I'm going to break it by accident when putting it in or taking it out. That's what she said. But yeah. So then we have the Shadow Saber, which is decently painted. I don't expect 100% paint on these kind of things, which is nice. So, and then there's this plastic, like the Time Force Red figure, which you can put on Shadow Ranger and everything. And I think I have that right for all that. And it for the energy that comes from it, which is nice if you want to pose them like with it powered up and everything. Right here is an option part for the Spd Morpher, which unfortunately they did mold this wrong because it's supposed to be the other way around. I have the Morpher toy for this. I don't know where I put it, but I do have the Morpher toy for this. Still works, by the way. Yeah, it's supposed to be the other way around. You can see this. In fact, in production images on Amazon, they even have the hand, like, with the Morpher upside down in it. And on top of that, it doesn't really fit into the hand. Like, either way, doesn't really want to fit. Okay, there we go. Just a bit. Which, this hand is meant to hold the Morpher, so yeah, it has that. But it would fit a little bit better if the Morpher were molded the other way, but granted, I don't know. This just seems like a weird production error to have, and I don't know if the Spd Red figure has it. I'll need to get that one to see. But yeah. So then, as with the other Lightning figures, I don't like this at all. There we go. The heads are on a ball joint, and you can take the helmets off and replace them with the heads, which this one comes with an optional neck part to just blend it in pretty well with the thing. Okay, that is supposed to be the other way around. Hold on. I was wondering about this, so yeah, put it on this way. And then put the head on. Which, this is actually really nice. I actually like how this blends in pretty well with the head and everything, the neck part. It actually works really, really well. I like how they found a good middle ground to pull with that. This isn't actually seen in the show ever. Granted, a lot of the seasons that are not produced by Saban don't have the Rangers in the costumes too much outside of battle, with the actors in them not doing ADR. So, yeah, but that is really good, and I like the head sculpt. I have a feeling that they probably got the costume from whatever storage house that they keep them in what is it, in New Zealand, and just scanned it in, because this is a really, really good sculpt of it, and they do have the lizard-like features present, like the scales and everything on Doggy Kruger's head and everything, which is really nice. And I do very much appreciate that they made it work. So, yeah, so then you can put the Shadow Saber in his hand, which I don't know why, but my figure's Shadow Saber was a little bit bent. But yeah, yeah, and you can just do various poses with them, which is really nice, and everything. I'll tell you what they should have let you be able to do. Pose him with the Shadow Saber in the hilt, which actually you can kind of do. I'm gonna have to screw around with it, but like, you can do that, I guess, but not as effectively as I would like to be able to do. But yeah, so other than that, pretty good figure. I think this is definitely a really good figure. If you want to get this one, I do recommend it. To show off the scale, even though it's not really in scale with the SH Figuarts at all. There's him next to my SH Figuarts of Spider-Man from Spider-Man Homecoming. Which he's a little bit taller, but that only makes sense. He was taller than pretty much every character on the show. So, yeah. But that's basically it. I do recommend it. So, yeah. So, really not much else to say. Links description on my shit. Subscribe if you want. And I'll see you guys in the next one.